Welcome. I'm Susan Jones and thanks for coming to Ready Set Startup. This quick video is going to explain to you the steps that you need to take to go from having a great business idea to getting ready to launch a functioning business. But first, I want to tell you about two problems or two mistakes that new entrepreneurs make. The first one is jumping in with both feet without doing market research. What often ends up happening is that a new entrepreneur will waste a lot of time and money doing this. Occasionally it pays off, but it's not really worth the risk. The second problem is what I call being a wantrepreneur or paralysis by analysis. So that's when either you talk about the idea a lot, but you don't actually take any action and get things done, or you spend so much time planning that you never take any action and perhaps the opportunity passes you by. Now, you don't want to be in either of those positions. So the process that I'm going to show you in this video and in the blueprint you've downloaded is designed to get you past both of those mistakes. So it's designed to help you to take action as well as doing the research to make sure that you've got a solid business idea. What I would like you to do is to think of your business as a little bit like dating. So you wouldn't meet someone for the first time and go, he's gorgeous or she's gorgeous, and jump into a marriage relationship. Most of us are not going to do that. And the reason why, well, it might be the love of our life, but on the other hand, we might end up committing ourselves to a serial killer and we don't really know. So the other problem would be, having a relationship with someone and then taking years and years and years and years to decide whether you want to commit to that long term or not. That's not really healthy either. And neither of those approaches are good in terms of business either. So what I want to encourage you to do, and what this process will show you, is how to take your business idea on some dates, put it through some tests and see if it really promises, if it's really going to deliver what it promises. So the benefits of this approach, and why I advocate this dual method of taking action and doing research, is that at the end of it, you will know whether this is a profitable idea or not and whether it can deliver you the kind of income you need. You'll also find out how to tweak and develop your idea to make it even more profitable and to make it a really winning one, something that your customers really want. And also, by the end of this process, you will have confidence that you can do this. You will know if it's something that you can execute, or on the other hand, you'll know if it's actually not for you, and that's a really good outcome as well. So in this video, I'm assuming that you already have a great business idea that you want to execute. If that's not you, please contact me. I'll give you a process to find a great idea. Okay, so let's have a look at this mind map. What I'm going to do is go through the blueprint you've downloaded and give you a run through of each of these steps and what they involve. So let's start with step one. So step one is working out if anyone wants your idea. In other words, we actually call this, in technical terms, we call this finding a product market fit. So something that your market really wants. So the first thing you need to do is to find out who these people are that are your target market. Don't make the mistake of saying everyone's your target market. That's usually not true, and it's much easier if you focus on one niche first, and then if it's something that can be applied to other niches, you can roll it out across niches. So you find one niche first. There's two steps here that I like to encourage you to do. One is to do some external analysis, and there's a couple of tools I've listed there that are really, really useful. I don't have time to explain them to you now, but you can Google and find out a lot about them. Or I'll have some resources coming up that you can use. But that external analysis is really important just to give you probably already have a feel for the context that this business would be operating in. This external analysis just confirms that for you. All right, so the second thing that I want you to do in this step is to create hypotheses. So you're answering these questions here. Who are my customers? So as much detail about who those people are as you can. What is their compelling need to buy? Why do they need to buy your product or service? And what value are they getting from it? And also, why would they buy from you? And this comes down to your credibility and the team you have are big factors here. Okay, so once you've done that, what I want you to do is to go and find a low risk way to test your idea in the marketplace. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. The best by far is talking to potential customers. So going and talking to people, validating your hypotheses. So really understanding what is the problem that you're solving for them from their point of view. You want to do this in a low risk way, so it shouldn't cost you a lot of money to do it. And all this information that you get will help you to refine the product and service and really turn it into something people really want to buy. At the end of this step is a good time to sit back, think about the idea and say, is this something that I want to continue to do? Does it grab me? Am I passionate about it? Can I make enough money from it? So if yes, go on to the next step. If no, go on to the next idea that you've got and go through steps 1 and 2 again. Okay, step 3 is creating a business around your idea or your product or service. So just because you have a product or service doesn't mean that you have a business, right? You've actually got to be able to sell it. So this is the step where we look at that. What we're wanting to know is, will this idea work as a business? And what we want to do is create a business model. And the business model is a really important kind of sketch of how the business works. It answers the questions, will you make money with the business? And also it helps you, again, to find ways you can make it better and more profitable. I've got some great links to resources in the blueprint for you. Using the business model canvas is a great tool to come up with what your business model is, and all the factors it outlines in there are really important to consider. Okay, step number 4 again is going to the market to test now your business model. So you've tested your product and service, you've got some indication that that's what people want, and now you want to go out and test that in the market as well. Again, you want to validate your hypotheses that you've made in a low risk way, and if possible, you want to get customers to commit. And there's several ways to do this. You can actually sell the product or service and make those first initial sales. You can take pre-orders, or if it's a more complex business that requires more work before you launch, you might use what we call a memorandum of understanding. So it's like an agreement between you and the customer that they will they have an intention to use your product or service. Again, this is a really good opportunity to do some evaluation about the idea once you've got that information back. So is it something that, is this business a good fit for you? So will it meet your personal goals? And is it the kind of business that you want to run? And again, decision time. Yes, I'm going to continue with this, or no, I'm not. As you can see, this is a bit of a spiral kind of a process. As you learn more, that information feeds back into what you've already done and improves it and makes it better. So it is a little bit of a cyclical process, so don't be frustrated if you find yourself going back and rethinking things. Okay, so if you've done those 4 steps, you've got a really good idea now about your business, whether it's going to work and what your customers want, which are, also whether it's going to be profitable. So these things are all really important. And once you've confirmed all that, it's time to write your business plan. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so what the business plan does is it draws together the research and learnings that you've taken so far. It helps you to identify what the opportunity is, what resources you need, and what kind of a team you need to build to execute on this opportunity. What the purpose of the business plan is to outline a strategy to take the business forward into the future. And it's a really important document for getting those crucial stakeholders on board, whether they're investors, your spouse, partners, employees, investors, or even bank managers. Okay, so here's the things that you need to put in your business plan. first of all, and you will have been doing this already in the process, but work out what it is you need to run the business. Really articulate that. So what do you need exactly in terms of finances? What resources do you need? Who's the team that you need? Operations and logistics kind of things. So this is where you want to be as precise as possible. Your research should have been really specific. So these are not guesses. These are very, or if they are, they're very educated guesses, and you're pretty certain on the numbers you're putting in here. In your business plan, you also want to outline how you're going to tell people about it, which is your marketing. So marketing, PR, communication strategies, all those things. Again, from talking to potential customers, you'll have a good idea about that. Really important point is to outline what the risks are and also how you're going to mitigate them. It's really important to know up front what the potential risks are, because then you can do something about it. Also at this point, if you find a risk that has too much downside that can't be mitigated, that's a good indication that perhaps this isn't a good business to go ahead with. Right, another factor in your business plan that you should have a look at is barriers to entry, or what we call sustainable competitive advantage. So what you want to work out is, how can you stop others copying your business? You don't want to set up in business and have someone else the next week set up doing the exact same thing and taking away all your market share. So there's some very specific strategies you can use there to help you to make your business sustainable over time, and it's a very important factor for a good business. And then there's all the important but boring stuff like your accountant, your legal, your company registration, the name of your company, all those things. It's really good in the beginning, if you can, to have an idea of how you would exit the business. So if you're planning to sell the business, it might change the way you set it up. If you're planning to be in the business for 5 years and then get out, that's going to impact certain decisions that you make. So having an idea, and also if you have a potential target that you're going to sell the business to, you would want to set it up in a certain way so it works for them. So important, I know it seems really funny to think about that before you've even begun your business, but it is actually a really useful question. All right, and again, decision time. Are you going to continue with this business or not? So it's your final chance to make that decision. All right, and so the very last step, once you've done all that, you're ready to launch. So really, it's about taking action, keep implementing, and in a sense, you've already begun. So it's continuing to do the good work that you've done in your business. So that's the process in a nutshell. I would love it if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My Twitter and Facebook and email details are at the bottom of the page. So I'd love it if you get in contact with me. And also, I would love it if you found this valuable, both the blueprint and the video, please share it. That would really help me to get the message out to people, to help more people start sustainable businesses that will work for them with a minimum of risk. And good luck with your entrepreneurial ventures. Thank you.